Here we are with a special from Herb I Don't Want No Trouble Hurston, right here representing, and you know the man on point is Howard L. We're here to discuss a few things going on with this Monique and D.L. Hughley situation. By me knowing both sides of the coin and knowing both of the people, I thought I'd take the time to throw in my little 2 cents since everybody's doing their thing. You know, over the years, I've had an opportunity to hang out a little bit with DL and Monique more so than DL. Now, the reason why I come to you at this point, I'm telling you, is like, I'm looking at what Monique is talking about, right? And I say to people, listen, man, I knew DL as a headliner before Monique. I knew DL from working the comedy club in Charlotte and doing the Comedy Zone, okay? I knew Monique from that also, but Monique was not on the level as a DL at the time. Not to put her down, but she was a beast at the time, but she wasn't a DL yet. DL was one of those marks. So DL was the first one they gave him. DL was the first one that had the BET as a host. Remember, he was the first BET host. So this is before Def Jams and everything. So you got to think about this. Monique and Mike Epps and the rest of them came along after Def Jams. Okay? DL was established before Def Jam. Just give you a little history to understand the difference between the two. I'm not saying Monique is not a headliner. But if I, being Monique, were looking at DL, I understand where she's coming from in her personal feelings. But let's put personal aside and let's look at logic. Logically speaking, DL just comes before Monique. You got to pay homage to individuals, historically speaking, period. Now we're going to flash back to Monique and listen to a few things Monique was talking about, and I'm going to hit and touch on a few points as we go, because Monique really had a lot of things to express. I mean, a whole lot of things to express. Let me check out. They said Monique let the wood line come out.
That niggas told me, Monique, let go. And let go. Let go and let God. They have taught niggas to be so motherfucking fearful and just give it to God. Let go and let God. So I kept hearing this shit over and over and over again. So I said, well, let me let the shit go and let me give it to God.
Shit, you know God in the same conversation.
He gave it right the fuck back.
And who the fuck?
He said, bitch, I gave you everything you need to deal with these motherfucking coons. Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley. I gave you everything you need to deal with these motherfucking coons. I don't fuck with nobody. See, tonight,
she said she got everything to deal with them M and F and coons. Don't F with me, right? Monique is angry from the side about what?
I'ma tell. Bitch, I'ma tell you out there kissing Petey on the playground, bitch. You nasty whore, we in the 3rd grade. So when I leave this motherfucker, the headliner has left.
When I leave this motherfucker, the headliner has left. What?
I don't fuck with nobody. I don't fuck with no motherfucking body. But when you cross the line with me, nigga, you have crossed the motherfucking line. And that bitch nigga has crossed the motherfucking line. See, we got a history, nigga. We got a history. That nigga went on a tour talking about all Monique wasn't.
He went on a tour.
You can Google it right now. DL Hughley on Monique, all I wasn't, what I wasn't worth, all
DL ain't paying Monique not one drop of fucking attention.
You came to my home, nigga, and you put your feet under my motherfucking table. I don't get down like that, goddammit. You got a bitch wrong. You talk about Young Thug, and because of their names, nigga, your name is DL. What the fuck does it stand for?
What does Young Thug have?
How far you bending over, nigga, on the
what
DL?
Does Young Thug and everybody have to do with anything? Now, Monique said, now you bending over on the DL, and what you doing? What does that have to do with a headliner versus a feature? She talked about Young Thug. She talked about him, his dog, his wife. She talked about niggas and coons, all because of placement on stage. And then she goes back to say, well, let me tell you about him, and this is so-and-so and so-and-so. And one thing I know about Monique, she knows how to pick her battles, okay? Now, she stayed on Monique. Monique stayed on doggone DL. And what me tell you about DL and what he did to me? And you put your feet under my table and nigga. Corey Holcomb, my dog, okay, stepped to Monique and said, listen, this no joke having bitch wanna run her mouth and shit, and she ain't got no goddamn jokes. Name me a joke that Monique has ever told that was famous. He's not lying. Now, I ain't got nothing to do, not talking about Monique, but really she's more of a female shock comic. And I've seen Monique I've seen her at times where she was working more, but the richer you get, the more less work evidently people put into what they're doing. I don't have nothing against Monique. But I know Monique's real problem has nothing to do with all she's going through. Okay? And I'm going to tell y'all from a personal level. I know Monique more personally than I know DL. I haven't been around Monique nor DL a lot since they rose to the occasion. Okay? Because once you reach a certain plateau in this entertainment world, you have to basically, from what I see, leave everybody behind if you ain't real. If you're working for the regime, then you know, because when I sit back and I look at Monique, I say, man, she talking about, Lee Daniels. And she had a problem with Lee Daniels with the movie Precious. And she had a problem with Tyler Perry. And she had a problem with Oprah. I see where she's coming from. But the thing is, you agreed to the shit. So how you gonna have a problem with everybody and they put you on a whole nother level to some shit that you agree with? Just like the contract with DL. There's some shit that evidently your husband agreed with. Y'all come back later fussing about shit that you agree with outside of being exposed by Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and Oprah Winfrey. Who was Monique before that? Honest to goodness. Now, Monique, you took the road. You know you took the road of that LGB crew. Okay? You get upset because someone at D.L. Hughley's show asked you questions about pertaining to your husband and who he would have sex with, and you thought it was inappropriate. Okay. My question is, if you have conversations about you and your husband, open relationship, questionably some stuff going on might be bisexual within it, then, okay, when people ask you questions, why are you getting upset? You don't want to put your business on the line. Ain't nobody, you'll never hear me talk about who I'm screwing. And I ain't gonna have no woman and I'm saying, oh, this is my mama right here. And how you like it, mama? Oh, it's all good, daddy. I don't even understand what that means. So you got a husband, like DL called him a husband's son, because you taking care of him at the same time. He's supposed to be serving you by being a good manager. This person I've never met him before, but I know he wasn't around when back in the day and you had a manager. So let's hit that subject right quick. Back in the day, you had a manager. Monique had a manager. Now, going back to that manager you had and understanding things that had transpired in Monique's life, the movie Precious probably hit Monique very hard because of experiences in life. I will not put Monique's business out there to full grade. But I know one thing. If Monique called me, I could sit down with her and say, do you remember when I talked to you openly about things that happened to me when I was a child? And Monique answered because I told her some things happened. And she said, baby, tell your story, baby. And you know that's how Monique talk. Baby, tell your story. If you got a story to tell, baby, you tell it. And you let the people know. Well, Monique, I'm asking you. Tell your story. Your story itself is greater than Precious. Nobody has the right to tell your story but you. Okay? I don't feel like it would be appropriate for me to just break down things and go further into it, because it's like for anything that's happened to someone in life, for someone to throw your business out there and throw you into the fire, sometimes it's kind of shocking. So I know for a fact, okay, to not defend Monique for the way she's been reacting, but to defend her state of mind right now, because I don't think she's settled personal issues within herself that she needs to face that has nothing to do with the world that she's reacting to. Yes, Steve Harvey is Steve Harvey, but he has nothing to do with you opening with DL. Yes, DL might have pissed you off, but it didn't piss you off to the degree where you need to make a public stir about something that no matter how many times we listen to, I can't understand the reasoning of the meltdown on DL. So, as a person would speak to another person, and I hope Monique does hear this, you have to work on the things that happen to you. You got to work on those things that happen to you, just like I had to work on those things that happened to me. You gave me advice, Monique, and I'm asking Monique to take the same advice that she gave me. Tell it. Tell it. Stop holding things inside and being violently angry towards the entire world that owes you nothing and has done nothing to you. You have to stop it. And to me, I'm not trying to be funny. Monique's husband to me is like a puppet master. I don't know the guy. I just know a few people that do know him. And he's like a puppet master right now. He's a person trying to gain exposure from someone who has already become someone. So therefore, Monique, you are someone. Your husband is a wannabe. He needs to take the back seat. The managers, the company, and the people don't understand his business practices. So that's just the word. And deal with yourself according to what you need to deal with. Start loving yourself more. Stop depending on someone to be your backbone. And go ahead and get your backbone together. Period, point blank. As far as DL is concerned, stand-up guy. Okay? I know DL's a stand-up guy because when I was going through some spiritual things, that's when I met DL. We were in Salem, North Carolina, doing a show. And I remember there was a girl's name Fuller Skit, there was Lester Bibbs, and D.L. Hughley and myself. There's a lot of mix-ups with the show that day. Okay? And then to pull the show to keep going, I was pulled from the show. And I was bothered by it. I'm not going to go into the reasons why, but it had nothing to do with me standing on stage. DL said, man, come on down to my room and talk to me. I said, okay, cool. DL broke things down. He said, hey, man, did you get all of your money? I said, yeah. He said, well, that's what you came here for. And I had to think about it. You're right. So what? I didn't get a chance to do the second show. They paid me in full. So what am I fussing about? Why am I upset? Because when you don't appreciate the full purpose, you'll find reasoning of negativity within positivity that has no grounds. DL set my mind straight. I was able to continue on and do my doggone thing. And being the professional he was, DL went as far as to say, hey, man, when you're on the road, man, I remember when DL was like, he said, I take like 5 or 6 pair of jeans. He said, I can wash them, man. I just take shirts with me. DL was frugal. He sat down and DL may not even remember this, but he sat down and gave me so many jewels on how to better myself as a comic. Okay? So I have nothing bad to say about DL, and I have no gripes about Monique. I just know DL is a settled-minded individual, and since the day I met him, he's been settled in mind, and he's still settled to this day. When it comes to Monique, I met Monique in better times. I met Monique when she was just fun, and I like the heavyset Monique better than I like the skinny bitch. I mean, you know, that's how she said it. You know, I like the heavyset Monique. The heavyset Monique was able to hold things in a different manner. But I also remember in mind that heavyset Monique was probably suffering from some things we cannot understand. So if y'all can do me a favor right now, for DL's sake and for Monique's sake. For DL's sake, don't judge him by what Monique has said, because none of it matters. So let that go from the beginning. DL is a professional, stays a professional, allow him to continue to be. And that's what he always will be. When it comes to Monique, don't charge it to her heart, charge it to her head. Because when things are not the way they need to be, your head will play games with you. Monique has a good heart. She's a loving person. And when she says baby and darling and things of the sort, she's genuine. She's like that. Monique like a daggone mama, okay, as a young lady. So at the same time, you know, we see her going through what she's going through, and we know there's mental and mental and physical and spiritual things she's fighting, man. Real talk. And you have to really accept people for who they are as they're going through these times. So I just want to give a perspective from a non-gossiping level of what my what I say experience has been with Monique and DL to kind of settle this situation. Like I said, Corey said it the way he said it, because that's his angle. Okay, DL said it the way he said it. That's his angle. Monique expressed herself, and there are many more people that will be expressing themselves in the comedy world. But on the real, Monique, get you some personal help for the personal things you and I both know. Charge it to her head, not her heart. This is Hearn with No Trouble. Just give me an idea of what's going on. I had to get on here and give a little spiel, like they say, drop a little juice or tea on you right now, and this has gone. So this is Herm telling you about DL and Monique right about now from the Herman Hurston way. I'll holler at y'all next time. Thank y'all for listening. Y'all be safe. Peace and a bye-bye.